how to diagnose and get that freshly rebuilt motorcycle cranking coming up next. What's up everybody, this is Monty with House to David MC, and today is part 15 of our GN250 build where we're talking about how to get that freshly built motorcycle engine cranky. So if you're the atypical motorcycle builder, then you put the engine together, you put it back in the frame, you connect all the hoses, you press start and the thing just fires up like a maniac. But if you're like me and maybe some other people that are watching this video, you do everything right and then you press the start button, you kick it over and it goes So if that's you, I got 3 tips to help you get that motorcycle started. These 3 tips are really simple, straight ahead answers to help you diagnose your motorcycle problem. So it's freezing cold, let's get to it. Okay, so first failed start. In the process of trying to get the bike to start, I killed our lithium battery. And then I realized that you can't charge a lithium battery with a traditional acid battery charger. So I had to order a lithium battery charger. So we got our lithium battery charged again and we're ready to start diagnosing why the bike won't start. So let's do that. So as we begin to start diagnosing why she is not starting, there's 3 essential places you got to check to make sure they're all working properly. So 1, the intake. At this point we're just wanting to make sure that the carburetor is functioning, that the jets are clean and they're getting fuel to the engine regardless of whether it's properly balanced and all that kind of stuff. 2, compression. When the pistons are taking that air fuel mixture we just talked about and they're smashing it down, are they smashing it down properly to create this small little ball of potential to then be exposed to, number 3, the spark, to explode and make us go forward. So 3 areas we need to check. Make sure our carburetor is working properly, intake. 2, compression. Do we have proper compression? And 3, do we actually have a spark? So both of these diagnosis methods for checking compression and spark take place at the spark plug. So step 1, take out the spark plug. So now is a good opportunity actually to check your spark plug to see what it looks like. This one actually looks pretty black, which would tend to suggest a rich condition. Take your spark plug, plug it back in to the spark plug, what do you call this thing, cap? I should know these things better. Then you want to actually set the spark plug somewhere where it's making contact with metal. We're just going to simply start the engine and see if we get a spark right here. I don't know if you can see that, but when we do this, we do see a spark. And to check compression, all we have to do is simply put our thumb or our finger over the spark plug hole and again start up the motor. And what's going to happen if you have good compression, somewhat compression, your thumb or your finger is actually going to get shot off the spark plug hole. So let's do that now. So put your finger over the hole, make sure it's completely covering, no place for air to escape, and just start the bike. I don't know if you could hear the gas escaping when it shot my finger off, but it was pretty prevalent. So we've got compression, we've got spark. The only other thing that it could possibly be at this point is the intake. So What I like to do in these cases when the bike just won't turn over is give it a little bit of an adrenaline boost. And the way we're gonna do that is with some carburetor cleaner. So let's do that. So for this trick, we are going to remove our pod filter or whatever it is we have blocking our main air intake into the carburetor. And now that we have that off, what we're gonna do is simply start the bike. And as we start the bike, squirt just a couple squirts of carburetor cleaner right into the intake. And that thing is essentially going to go right into the engine. It's going to bypass any potential problems we have in the carburetor, any gunked up jets, any messed up floats or anything like that. And it's going to tell you that if the fuel gets through the carburetor into the engine, that it will start. So that totally tells us right then and there that we have a problem with the carburetor. So let's try that. Okay, so the bike is sounding awesome. It's running, and why am I laughing? It's funny because so we started out last video by cleaning the carburetor, so we know the carburetor was clean. We thoroughly went over it. We adjusted the float and everything, and we checked our spark. Spark is great. We checked our compression. Compression is great. But what I didn't do is check to see if the fuel cock was basically turned on, or whatever you call it, to get gas into the carburetor. So on our first attempt, we were trying to start a motor without any fuel. So silly me, step one, make sure you got gas flowing into the carburetor. Seats on, let's start this sucker up. So she's cranking, she's purring like a kitten. Come back next week. We're gonna start driving it around, tuning it a little bit and see what we can get. So if you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel down below. Like the videos, make comments, share them with your friends. As always, this has been Monty with House of David, taking one motor, one revelation at a time.